let it bang, bang.
Let's understand the Python constructor. This Python constructor is very helpful for defining class and object relationship. Consider this is a class and these are two its objects. Let's name it. It's a car class and these two are objects, say car1 and car2. Now this is a class, so it will have certain properties like company name and model name, and also we can provide manufacturing date and one more info which will give the description of the car. So the car one will inherit the properties of its class. When it will inherit the properties of its class, then it will contain all the attributes and function which belongs to its class. These are two objects. Now it will contain car name Maruti and the model name as Alto and manufacturing date 2018 and the info method which will give the description of the car. Similarly, let's create another object which will be Toyota Fortuner model name and manufacturing date 2019 and the method will be info. So like this class and object relationship is defined. Now let's implement it in programming. As we have now created the illustration, now let's implement it in a program. So first we have to run the IDLE, and for these shortcuts what I am doing is I am pressing start key and then left key to move it around like this, so it makes easier to see the diagram. Now let's create a file with and save it as name constructor. And it's a Python file. Now what we have to do, we have to create a class. Class is a car, so now create a class car, and now here we have to use colon instead of braces like other programming language. Now here the constructor is a keyword which we have to write with a certain type. It is underscore init function and then underscore. It symbolizes in Python that it is a constructor, and there is a one more argument which you have to pass. This is called self argument. What self argument does, it reminds the code that which objects have called the class car. For example, this object has called the car info method, and this method is called, then how the car will identify which object has called the method info. For this purpose self argument come, which gives a reference to the class that this object has class called the car method. Okay, and for other attributes which we have defined, we have to create these three attributes also. uh, Company name, model name, and manufacturing date, and then we have defined all the attributes. Now we can create colon and now start defining the attributes. Self dot company is equal to company name. What this means is now you are defining the car1 attribute. When we press car1 dot company, then it will give the name as Maruti. Okay, similarly for other attributes we can go for model and model name, And if you are wondering how my typing speed is fast, then you can go for Typing Master. It's a very good app if you want to increase your typing speed. uh, Coming back to the topic, so we have defined all the attributes. Now when the object will be created, these attributes will automatically will be created. Now another function which we have defined here is info. So info, and similarly we have also passed the self argument here also. Now we can print the details of the car. So car dot self dot company and self dot model and comma self dot date. And now we can move these attributes will be printed with the space. uh, for more details I will make a video on print function if you like. Then as we have created our class, now the main step is to create an objects. So we will create first object car1, and it is the blueprint of car class. Now passing the attributes, these attributes when we pass, it will transfer to the here, here and here. And this self defines that this car1 has called this car class. Okay, now we will write Maruti, and the model name is Alto, and its manufacturing date is 2018. Okay, so now to print the details we have to invoke the info method. Similarly we can create another object which is Toyota, and the object model name is Fortuner, and it is created in 2019. Now we can invoke the info method to get the description. Now when you will run it, then uh, these car objects description will be printed by the info method. Okay, so like this a class is very useful when you don't want to describe all the attributes again and again, and simply using inheritance type. Okay, so these inheritance I will explain the later, but this concept is known as class and object concept.
Let it bang, bang.